going on, everybody? Today is February 1st, 2021. We got the Outcome Reach podcast. Today's going to be about the law of perspective. Now, we usually have me, Matt, Sean, Wyatt, all of us on. They're a little busy, so it's just me, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. So let's go ahead and get into it. So if you all are in Imperial, y'all, my accent, I'm sorry, y'all know I'm South Carolina. Y'all know I'm a political science major, history minor, and I am heavily into the psychology stuff. Now, with that psychology stuff, I like to relate it to life in general as well as Forex. This today is called the law of perspective, and this can be used in Forex and life in general. Now, what is the law of perspective? Let us go into, I put a nice little thing on Telegram. If y'all are in Imperial, I know y'all are enjoying, or I hope you all are enjoying these morning little inspiration posts. Let's see where we at. The law of perspective. I'm going to read it for y'all real quick. So, an important aspect of life is that it is common but often overlooked that everybody is going through something. Now, this is something that is said, but if you truly think about it, you'll realize how deep this is. Everybody is fighting their demons. Everybody. Me working in the law, I see this a lot. You'll see people looking so bright and happy on the outside. You have no idea what people are going on, what people have going on the inside. So first and foremost, always be nice to people. You have no idea what they're going through because everyone's going through something. But regardless of the fact that everyone's going through something, what separates those who succeed and those who fail is how they tolerate what they're going through. And that toleration comes from mindset. Now, to be clear, this is not some cliche gaslighting bullshit that's going to tell you, just think positive thoughts. It's ridiculous. And I hate people with that ideology. If someone's going through something you think they don't know, they haven't just tried to think positive thoughts, it's stupid. What I'm not telling you is to think positively. What I am telling you is to turn shit into sugar. Turn whatever you're going through into something positive. If you're at work or you're bored, use that time to develop soft skills that you can use in the future. Me, y'all know I work at Publix. I hate Publix. I probably should have said that. I hope they'll find this video. I don't prefer working at Publix, and rephrase. But I don't just use that time wishing I'm going home. Y'all know I'm also a designer, so I use that time looking at magazines and such. Or I can't pick them and read it, but I'll glance at them. Look at the color scheme. I'll look around at the color scheme of the store just so I can, practice my design skills, even though I'm not actually doing it. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Taking something plain and boring and turning it into something useful. This is such an underrated skill. If you can learn how to turn shit to sugar, if you can learn how to take anything negative and turn it into something positive, you will literally be invincible. Someone give me a scenario and I'll tell you how to turn it into something positive. Somebody.
You hate your job.
You lose your job.
You hate your job.
You hate your job. All right, that hatred of your job, I feel that, first of all. You can use the hatred of your job to inspire you to get other streams of income. Whenever you feel like, I don't feel like working, you need to say, well, what's worse, spending some time working on this and feel like another stream of income, or going to my job and dealing with that same stream of income, waking up every morning, hating that. Use that mindset that says, I cannot stand my job, to force yourself into a position where you love what you do. Yes, Brian, I have trees in the background, but that's why. Another thing that this is kind of dark, but we told y'all last time we're going to be getting into a bit more uncomfortable situations or uncomfortable scenarios. That's good life. Death is something that everybody goes through. Everybody. Everyone's going to experience some time in their life. We're all going to die one day. That shouldn't scare you. It's just a fact of life. But what that perspective should do is to say, we are all going to die one day. My time is limited. Let me enjoy it to the fullest. When you think about how much little time you have, it really inspires you to push to make the most out of every single day. Some dark, but that's another way about this perspective. Now, as far as my perspective as a Forex educator, I have a bit of a different perspective than those of y'all who are brand new to Forex because we all know the statistic only 4% of traders are profitable. Fortunately, I was one of those 4% who was able to push past those boundaries to become profitable. So, my perspective is you all can do it. If you think you're not, you can't do it. You're not pushing yourself. Now, am I saying to stand in front of a chart for 3 hours a day? No. I don't backtest more than 30 minutes a day. So, don't take this that way. Perspective. What I'm saying is that when some people say I can't do this, I feel like Forex is too hard. I'm gonna look at you and tell you you can do it. You're doubting yourself. Now, a perspective of someone who's new to Forex might be, I feel like everyone's against me. This community is toxic. There are people like IML who are scamming people trying to get me to buy a ridiculously overpriced course, things I can look up for free, people who would charge you $50 to get into a baby pips course full of scammers. That's the new person perspective. They have the perspective of this is such a toxic community. But take that, turn it into something positive. Because if you are in a community that hard, how much more meaningful is it going to be if you make it out? I would like y'all to join this conversation. Do any of y'all have any experiences with these types of mindset? Janisha, Brian, Ricky, any of y'all? Craig?
I actually do. So when I first started Forex, I was in the IML, and see, my problem is I'm a nice guy, so like it's not that I'm easily swayed into certain things, but sometimes I feel bad when like even recently I had joined back in the IML just because I wanted residuals, but then I realized it's really not for me. But every time I tried to escape it, it's like I let like the people I joined them, they're like my friends and my boys and whatnot. But like I know deep down I was doing outcome reach and like smart money, and I know that that's a conflict of interest with IML, and I wanted to do this, but every time somebody's talking to me about it, I kind of feel bad if I just up and dip on them because I hit P6 and all of that, and it took me a while. I had to like ghost them a little bit just because I didn't. I knew if I was to tell you straight up, y'all would make so much of a big deal out of it when deep down I know this was best for me. So like sometimes it's like I feel like I'm too nice sometimes, and that may or may not hinder some people from reaching their ultimate goal. So if you want to speak on that a little bit.
Okay. Well, first of all, those of y'all who know me, I am cynical as hell. It definitely has its pros and cons. The con is that it takes a while for me to open up and trust somebody, but also you can't fool me. Like you're not gonna get over on me. About the going back and forth from IML to outcome reach. I mean, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We probably would have been clowning you, but at the end of the day, only you know what's best for you. If you want to get residual income, I'm all here for it. And you know, by the way, if you get someone else to join Outcome Reach, you will get paid for that. If you didn't know that, but you can. About being too nice, I mean, that's just another perspective thing. It's good that you're nice. We need more of that in the world. Some people want to say it's a bad thing. That's their perspective. The other perspective is that you're not too nice. You are empathetic. You are caring. So that's something really for another subject of the podcast. Everybody has parts of their personalities that aren't the best, but I don't believe in repressing those. Y'all know I love my laws of human nature. Some people are natural narcissists, naturally grandiose, naturally too nice. Some people are fleeting, short sighted. There are so many aspects of personalities that can be viewed as bad. My thing, don't get rid of them. The negative part of my personality, I can be narcissistic as hell sometimes. I'm owning that. But instead of using that, I'm trying to repress that because it will slip out. Instead of repressing that, I use it to my advantage. I say, I like being right, so I study enough so that I am right. Because here's the thing about what happens when you repress your personality. Yes, I'm rambling, but this is crucial. This is a gem. In relationships, it takes approximately 3 months for you to keep up that facade. Humans are natural actors. They will put a facade on, a mask on that makes them like the best, most perfect human. You can keep it up for an average of 3 months. Think about when relationships are getting rocky. After 3 months, it's like, you've changed. They didn't change. The mask came off. When someone gets under stress, when they're angry, when they lash out, when they say things later, say, I didn't mean that. I don't know what came out of me. Nothing. That's your authentic self. The mask got lifted. So what am I meaning by that? If you have narcissistic traits, if you have defensive traits, anger traits, jealous traits, do not try to repress those. They will slip out, often in the wrong times, and you're going to hurt people. Be proud about those traits and use them to your advantage. If you're jealous, if you have a trait of jealousy, work so that you can get what others have and don't have to be jealous. If you're naturally short-sighted, use that short-sightedness to say, I'm enjoying living in the present. If you can be narcissistic like me, don't try to repress that. Say, I like being right. I'm going to study so that I know I'm right. That's what you do. Does that kind of answer your question, Craig? I know I kind of went to a tangent.
Oh, no, yeah, it wasn't really a question. I just wanted you to talk about something that it definitely gave some value for sure.
Shut up. That's my roommate in the background. Prince said, don't quit. You got this. Yeah, that's low-key. I mean, it's a gem, but it's so simple. Don't quit. Everyone quits Forex. Don't do it. Because everyone goes through this losing streak, they feel like they're going to quit. If you don't and you keep trading, you're going to be profitable. Just don't quit. All right. Someone else give some comments. I love to keep this discussion going.
I feel like most people don't self-assess. Like, they don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm. Can you go more in depth about that? What do you mean they don't know who they are?
So, like, sometimes we think like so like you won't realize that you have narcissistic traits. You think just because it comes out at weird times, it's just like a reaction. But like you said, that's who you are. So if you don't know who you are, you can't categorize yourself as narcissistic if you don't know that you're narcissistic.
I get it. Because people, yeah, I understand. Like people who are naturally really rude, pessimistic, they often don't think that. They often think that they're the hero and we're all the villains. That takes brutal honesty with yourself. Because I can tell you, everyone in this call, whether it be narcissism or something, you all have a part of your personality that you do not like. Everyone. And if you say you don't, you're lying to yourself. If you don't know how to identify that, journal it. If that's not working, this is the best book you'll read. Law of Human Nature. This book will tell you what's wrong with you. It's funny. It's kind of a hard read because it's going to tell you what's wrong with you. And what it does is it'll tell you why. Like it'll reveal elements of your childhood that led to where you are today. My mama. The reason I love being right is because when I was little, my mama always told me, Kylan, there is power in your name. Do not forget who you are. You are my son. You're the son of descendants of slaves and sharecroppers. There's power in your name. And she would tell me that every day. What's the result of that? I know who the hell I am. And I'm proud of that. Now, the line is between being humble and being on that. I'm pretty good on the line because I know that I love being right, but I'm also open to other people's opinions. Everyone else, if you don't know where you are, you really have to be completely brutally honest with yourself. Try journaling, but overall, just take a moment and think. Did I lash out? Why did I lash out? What caused me to lash out? Why am I angry? Why am I feeling these emotions right now? If you master your emotions, you have mastered yourself. If you master your emotions, you have mastered yourself. It's gotta be complete self-reflection. But that's for a different topic. Do you believe in having an alter ego? Yes. Except I don't call it an alter ego. I call it your shadow. Actually, no. Ricky, can you get more into what do you mean by alter ego? I want to be sure that we have the same definition right now. You can unmute yourself, by the way.
All right. Do you believe in, having this different version of yourself, and then like somehow like wanting to become that person that, like, I'm not talking as in, let's see, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Do you like a better version of yourself that you basically your goals in the human, I don't know how to word it. Like,
No, I know exactly what you're saying. That's why I'm laughing. This is gonna sound really weird. Let me rephrase what you're saying. Do you have a better version of yourself that you look up to?
yeah, somewhere like, yeah. Basically, like, let's say if there's something about myself that I didn't like, and I see myself, after I've come face to face with the problem, and then living like that. Like, do you ever see yourself like that?
When I was little, yes. That's actually what got me where I am today. Um, one thing that I always believed, I hated being dependent on everyone else, and I kind of had the problems. I hated going to other people for help. So I mean, y'all know I'm religious. Of course, I pray and stuff, but other than that, I relied on myself. The song "Mirror" by Lil Wayne that struck a chord with me. I'm gonna look in the mirror if I need some help. And as a child, I formulated almost like an imaginary friend, except it was me. And like the perfect version of myself. Whenever I was wondering, what do I do in this situation? I would basically talk to myself, like, what would the perfect version of myself do? And gradually, I started becoming that person. Which I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but I think that's probably one of the most powerful things I did as a child. Like I would just talk to the perfect version of myself until I ended up becoming that person. Then I would strive to be an even better person. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that pretty much sums that up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something I
I
always
just
did.
I just want to know if it was, if you had any similar experience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it definitely got me to where I am today, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I mean, I'm still in college, of course, but life is good. I mean, I'm on a full ride. I got a really love. I had my first day at work day. It's super fun. Like I have complete autonomy. They tell me, "Here's what we need done. Here's your access. Get it done." Like I love it. It's complete autonomy. It's for a nonprofit organization, and I'm the government affairs intern. It's so much fun. Like I'm enjoying it. Life is good, and I believe just it's been a blessing through God and through just talking to myself really, and of course my parents and stuff just give me all these opportunities. It's little stuff like that just gets you to where you are today. Next question. Let's keep this up. This is a nice conversation.
Hey, but hold on. So speaking on pretty much that topic though, like, okay, so being a better version of yourself. So me personally, I was a computer science major. I mean, technically still, and I got 2 classes left. But when I was in college, I lost my passion for computer science because my teachers were horrible. So I lost my passion. And mind you, I've been doing that since 9th grade. Like my high school is a vocational school, so we had majors. So all I know is computer science, and then boom, I'm senior year in college. I don't like computer science no more. And I was stuck for a minute, like, I know where I want to be at? Like I know what I want to do. And until I found Forex, more or less smart money, I didn't know how I was going to get there. So speak on how you eventually got to smart money, like from like we know you started retail, but how did you even get into the Forex world? What was on your mind? I know you're a political science major, but what was on your mind? Like, okay, what's going to be that vehicle that drives me to fund my life? and then speak on that time right before you found Forex.
Okay. I actually found Forex by pure happenstance. And it was really just a blessing because me being in the right place at the right time. But those of y'all who know me know that I am a designer. I do interior design, graphic design, fashion design. I love design. It's my passion. And speaking of what's said about computer science, you've been doing that since ninth grade, but now you don't want to do it. Teachers take the joy out of everything. I'm a licensed graphic designer right now. Do I do commissions for people? No. Do people ask me, hey, I will give you some money if you draw this for me or you design for me? Can you do it? The answer is always going to be no. I did that and I made lots of money off of it, but I began to hate it because design was always my passion. And the moment I monetized it, I hated it. So I ended up like throwing it to the side for like over 2 years before I came back to it. So about the computer science stuff, that's the one thing I cannot stand about society. You will have a passion, and the moment you monetize it, it's no longer fun anymore. So if you are burnt out like that, throw it to the side. You're eventually gonna lean back to it because that's something that's just for you. But how I found Forex? No. So I followed Brian, y'all know Brian, on my design account, and he was flexing demo profits on his account. And I just lit up. I was like, yo, don't even give me thumbs down. I'm just calling you up for what you did. I slid up on the story and I was like, yo, what is this? It looks kind of interesting because I was actually headed off to University of Michigan that summer to study design. It was not like college. It was just like a pre-college deal. So I needed $3,000 to get up there and study design. And I fell in the Forex like most people did, thinking it was going to be quick money. And at first I was having some pretty nice beginner luck. Quick money. But then I realized, oh shit, this is kind of hard. But what drives me, for one, I've always been about getting more streams of income. But the biggest thing is that I have very expensive tastes because, I mean, I was raised in an upper middle class home. My mother made so that I never wanted for anything. My mother got champagne taste. And damn it, I developed that. So it's that. Plus the fact that my actual job, I want to be a prosecutor, a progressive one. I don't want to lock everybody up. Let me put it out there. It's a job that doesn't pay very well. Like the starting salary is less than a teacher salary, but it's meaningful work and it's what I want to do. But I also want to have money so I can afford the semi luxurious lifestyle that I've pretty much lived as a child. So it's me wanting that, to be able to help people without worrying about money that drives me to do what I do today. And I'm pretty good so far, so now I'm giving back to sharing what I've learned with you all. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, that does.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right. Next topic.
How long was your learning curve for Smart Money and Wyckoff?
Okay. Good question. I started with retail. And basically I was in a retail chat dropping a bunch of BS charts and stuff. And y'all know Matt. Matt was like, bro, what are you doing? Let me get you together. So then Matt and Dillon, y'all know Dillon, just be dropping them 2 billion pip moves like it's nothing. Yeah, they were like, this is how you trade. This is smart money. And I was kind of stubborn. I was like, that's cool. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And eventually I was like, okay, I'll try. And I was like, hey, yo, wait a minute. This kind of doing something. That's when I got serious with it. So after about a year doing smart money is when I became profitable. So it took about a year retail, a year smart money. But I also was focused on it so much that I learned faster than a lot of other people did. So yeah, don't expect that you're gonna learn it in just a year. You can learn it in 6 months. I was just completely focused on that and that only because I wasn't in school at the time. It was over the summer when I was really doing the most of my learning. So I had plenty of time to get it all done.
I think they take a lot of perseverance because the first time I tried Smart Money was like last year, but I was around Sean a lot. Like I was around Sean a lot in a different group, but that's when he started learning Smart Money, and then I joined Vault, and then I just saw him take off. But I'm just thinking like how like you went through all those trial and errors within that year you had to because it was a whole year. So how what did it take for you to be like, okay, I almost got it. Let me just keep going.
Well, the narcissistic personality that I refuse to repress. I hate sending charts and they're wrong. So I studied enough to be sure that when I send charts, they're right. It was trial and error, but here's my thing. If I spent an entire year studying Forex, it would be wasted if I threw it to the side. I might as well keep going. Otherwise, it was a year of my life wasted. So
That's
I would
true.
rather struggle and get through this last barrier than drop everything I've done and worked on these past years. Next
I
question.
could relate to that.
Saying, yeah, just keep it up. Don't quit.
Nah, that's kind of how I am too. Cause it's crazy, Colin, because I was in the class before you came in. I remember when you came in, and you're like miles ahead of me. So I got a question. So I know you tell us about the psychology, how much you back test, what you look for, and we know your narcissistic personality kept you from not getting to this level. But like, get into detail about how, like, okay, how did you get to only back testing 30 minutes a day? What was your old habits like when you were losing while learning smart money? What certain things did you have to like maybe sacrifice, if anything, in order to become the person you wanted to be within smart money and within Forex?
Okay. Well, for one, I had to definitely humble myself. I had to learn, okay, these people are here to help. Because Dillon originally, I was on the chart, he'd be like, LOL, what is that chart? And I'm like, man, I just put my heart and soul into this. But besides,
Yeah, I've had those moments too.
yeah. That's such a good question. I guess my old habits. Well, first I used to do just video games, and I took a huge shot from video games. That hustle mentality, which is so toxic. Y'all know I hate it. That wake up 5 a.m., work out. Everyone else is playing. You're working. I used to be that person, but it's so toxic because your mind is always in overload, and you refuse to let yourself relax. So I had to work away from that. Yeah, it was just building habits day by day. Like it was start from little stuff. Like I'm gonna start making my bed. I'm gonna start keeping a planner, keeping a to-do list. I'm going to start having a schedule and scheduling out my day. From there, I got momentum. I started growing like this. It's not linear; it's exponential. So I got lots of momentum, and from that momentum, my Forex carried with me. Because along with my daily schedule, it was back test 30 minutes. Today I'm going to back test this. Today I'm going to back test distribution. Today I'm going to back test entries. Stuff like that. It was just being consistent overall. Even if I didn't feel like back testing for 30 minutes, I would do it for like 5 minutes. Just say I did it. Like
Cool. Now I'm gonna pick your brain some more because now within back testing, because this happens to me a lot. So talk about your good. I know it's so. This is an obvious question, but is every back testing day a perfect day for you?
Hell no.
All right, cool. So
Hell
now
no.
perfect. Nah. That goes into my question. So like, I know me personally, sometimes like, wait, it's weird because I know I like to back test, but then at the same time, I get mad at myself when I'm losing stupid things. Well, what I look at as stupid things. So like, how do you go about, okay, you're 30 minutes a day, whether it's good or bad? Do you have to do 30 minutes and have to make sure you hit on a couple of things? Or if you do 30 minutes and you don't hit nothing, it's still your 30 minutes a day and you keep it pushing? Like, talk a little bit about
something. I'm going to hit something. And here's why. This is something that most people don't realize. When I back test, I don't just use replay mode. So I'm going to hit something because when I back test, this is what I do. For the first 15 or so minutes, I'm on a replay mode. I'm going through just like this, looking for setups and seeing why they're correct. I'm looking and saying, I can open this right now. Ooh, that was a nice play right there. Or up there. And I'm just going through looking at it and saying, okay, why was that correct? And I'm going through saying, okay, there was a key level right here. Price dipped down a little bit on the key level, hit that entry and shot up.
I think that helps a lot. Because when I used to back test, I would put it in replay mode, and try to predict the entries instead of understanding
Exactly.
why
I'm
prices
the
are
same
reacting
exact
on
way.
different entries.
No, that's gonna burn yourself out because you're gonna keep getting stopped out and you're gonna get mad at yourself.
Can you say that again? Why?
That's
What
exactly.
can he say that again? Why he?
So I
What he
used to
was saying?
backtest with the replay mode, trying to predict entries instead of like first just finding entries on the chart and seeing why price reacted there, seeing what confluence prices had.
Exactly. It's like a warm up. You're gonna get warm up before you jump right in. So I'm just scrolling through. I'm like, okay. I'm looking for entries and studying why they're correct. I'm looking, okay, that got blown through. Why did it get blown through? Why? It's on a key level. You've been selling on a key level like a dummy. Price came back down and revisited and shot back up as a break play. That's the type of stuff I'm looking for. Then when I got about maybe 10 minutes left, I'll go to replay mode and I'll go from there. If you spend that entire 30 minutes on replay mode, you can get stopped out, you're gonna burn yourself out. So never do that. Make sense?
Yeah, you answered my question perfectly because that's what I'm about to start doing now. Because like what I don't know who iPhone is, but he said exactly what most of us probably does. Just go straight into replay mode and instead of training your eyes to see why things go right and whatnot and all of that good stuff. So yeah, you hit it right on the head.
You that you're gonna piss yourself off real quick. It's nah. And what I also do is I screenshot correct setups so I can look at them later, almost like flashcards. So that's the other thing that helps. All right. Well,
You like write when you find your correct setups, you like write notes on it, like okay, key level, order or outcome candle, liquidity, this, that, and the third, or you just know what to look for.
I'm a lot more simple than that. Let me show y'all.
Okay.
I keep a Discord. Okay, it's updating. Never mind. We're not gonna look at that. I keep a Discord and I just screenshot the correct setups and put it on the Discord. That's simple. I'll just go through the once a day. I just kind of scroll through them. Maybe when I'm waiting in the waiting room or something, just look at some correct setups. That's to me one of the best ways you can do this. Yeah, we're not gonna do this today. It's fine. Yeah. What other questions y'all got? We got about 5 minutes left on this call.
I'm just trying to focus on my study, and that's what I need to work on, and just becoming profitable. That's my only psychology, and that's what I just need to work on.
30 minutes a day, it's gonna come your way. All it takes. 30 minutes, no more, no less. Please don't say from the charts 3 hours a day. I don't know who advertises that shit. That's awful. Do not do that. It's gonna hurt yourself.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be on the charts a lot because I find it interesting. Like it's not like back testing, just I don't know. It's comforting for me. Like it's my way to cope with like things you go through. So like it's
No,
helpful.
if you enjoy it, for sure, do it. I'm saying if you dreading it, step away from it. Because some people will force themselves to do it, and that's not productive. So I mean, if you enjoy it, by all means, keep it up. But if you force yourself through it, take a step back.
I think most people do that though, Kylan, because most people are like, I really like, and you obviously know this, most people are introduced to Forex the complete wrong way because I think people like to, because what he just said, I do the same thing too. I mean, for me, it's comforting, but like at first it was because I wanted to make sure I caught every move so I can get mad money. And that right there is the one thing that most people who join Forex are here to do is get mad money. And then they get mad when they realize it's not a get rich quick scheme. And they don't want to take the time to really sit and learn the skill. And they just want it right there in the present and whatnot. So I think the way people get introduced to Forex has to change and whatnot, and what people need to expect, like the expectations from Rick needs to change because it's not that.
For sure. That's part of what I'm trying to do. Like, y'all know those who are in Imperial. Yeah, we've been recruiting heavy this past month, and it's just been a matter of, I go into scam group chats. I know are scams, and I will snatch from those group chats and add them to Imperial because I'm like, look, if you're gonna learn this, we're gonna learn this the right way because there's so many people who think that they are going to learn this in a day and become profitable traders, and it's not gonna happen. So honestly, if y'all want to help people out, just if y'all know anyone who's trying to learn Forex, send them our way. We're here to help.
That's good money, bro.
But actually, we only got about a couple seconds left in this call. Thank you all for hopping on. I hope y'all found value. Yeah, this will be posted on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing y'all next call. Y'all be sure y'all keep dropping y'all charts and ask whatever questions y'all want. All right.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, for sure. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, bro.